Otto Steinböck. Otto Steinböck, April 10, 1893, October 6, 1969, was an Austrian zoologist. Life. Otto Steinböck was born in 1893 in Graz as the ninth of 11 children. In 1911, after finishing the basic school with distinction, he started to study law at his father's request, although his passion was zoology. After passing the first state exam, he moved on October 1, 1913 to Nevesinj, Herzegovina, in order to serve as a one-year volunteer in the Austria-Hungary's mountain artillery. When the war broke out, he came to the Serbian front. He was wounded in 1914 and in 1918 was decorated first lieutenant and battery commander while in captivity in Trento, Italy, returning home in October 1919. After finishing his law studies, he began to study natural history in 1920, especially the biological subjects, and earned his doctorate on February 10, 1923, with the thesis Monographie der Prohincidi Turbellaria Aloacola. The turbellarians remained his subject of interest throughout his life. From 1923 to 1927, Steinböck was unemployed, but kept himself occupied with his scientific works at the Zoological Institute in Graz. In 1925 he married Gisela von Chiapo, a great-niece of botanist Friedrich Wellwich. She was then responsible for the couple's economic brunt with her job as a language teacher. Finally, in July 1927, he was qualified for zoology because of his scientific works published until that time. On October 1, 1927, he became an associate assistant of Prof. Dr. A. Stuer at the Zoological Institute of the University of Innsbruck. After 2 years as an assistant, he was appointed as associate professor on January 1, 1930. In 1931, he became professor of zoology and director of the Zoological Institute after Stuer left in order to become director of the German-Italian Institute of Marine Biology in Ravensj. At the beginning of World War II, Steinböck had to join again. He became the head of a mountain artillery battery on the Western Front and was promoted to captain of the reserve and won 2 awards. He was dismissed on August 31, 1940, and returned to the Institute. From 1941 until the war ended, Steinböck was under the rectorate of Raymond von Klebelsberg of the Faculty of Natural Sciences. He knew that it was considered a very sensitive office, always committed to help colleagues who had been politically exposed. However, after the war, he ended up dismissed for political reasons. In 1947, his dismissal was converted into a retirement, so that the circumstances made it hard to consider a return to scientific work. Nevertheless, the ethical attitude of the faculty insisted on his reinstatement, and he was eventually rehabilitated in November 1950 and reappointed as a professor on February 6, 1951. He retired in 1963, becoming an emeritus professor, and died on October 6, 1969 in Innsbruck. Work. Most Steinböck's works were focused on the anatomy of turbellarians. He also published several limnobiological studies conducted in lakes and streams in the Alps. Selected works. Steinböck, O. 1923. Ein new Gruppe Alucolar Turbellarian, Aloacola Typhlocola family Prohincidi. Zool. Amts. 58, 233-242. Steinböck, O. 1924. Verbedutung der Hufstenia Attribarides Bach für die Stellung der Aloacola im System der Turbellarien. Zool. Amts. 59, 156-166. Steinböck, O. 1924. Untersuchungen über die Geschlechtstrakt Darmverbindung bei Turbellarien nebst einem Beitrag zur Morphologie des Trichlaten Darms. Z. Morphol. Akol. Tier. 2, 461-504. doi 10.1007/bphone 254,873. SDU CID 31,322,588. Steinböck, O. 1925. Zur Systematik der Turbellaria Metamerata, Subgleich ein Beitrag zur Morphologie des Trichladen Nervensystems. Zool. Acts. 64, 165, 192. Steinböck, O. 1926. Nachtrag zur Systematik der Turbellaria Metamerata. Zool. Acts. 66, 14. Steinböck, O. 1926. Zur Ökologie der Alpinen Turbellarien. Z. Morphol. Ökol. Tier. 5, 424, 446. doi 10.1007/bf 408,155. SDU CID 42,649,091. Steinböck, O. 1927. Monographie der Porhinchidie Turbellaria. Z. Morphol. Ökol. Tier. 834, 538, 662. doi 10.1007/bf 407,451. SDU CID 26,166,062. Steinböck, O. 1928. Beitrag zur Kenntnis der Turbelarien Fauna Grönlands. I. Bofreoplanida und Trichlidida. Metalulzer on Grönland. 74, 71, 82. Steinböck, O. 1929. Hydrobiologist Forstungen in den Ostalpen. Forstungen u Fortschritt. 5, 415, 416. Steinböck, O. 1930. Die Lebensbedingungen der Tierwelt des Hochgebirges. Tiroler Fischer. 55, 4953. Steinböck, O. 1931. Zur Lebensweise einiger Tier des Uichnegebiets. Z. Morphol. Ökol. Tier. 24, 707, 718. doi 10.1007/bf 407,684. SDU CID 43,225,951. Steinböck, O. 1931. Die Tierwelt des Uichnegebiets. Zeitschrift des Deutschen und Österreichischen Alpenvereins. 62, 29, 46. Steinböck, O. 1932. Zur Turbellarien Fauna der Südalpen, Subgleich ein Beitrag zur Geographischen Verbreitung der Suswisser Turbellarien. Zoogeographica. 1, 209, 262. Steinböck, O. 1932. Die Turbelarien des Arktischen Gebiets. In Romer and Schaden. Fauna Arctica. 6, 295, 342. Steinböck, O. 1933. Die Turbelarien Fauna der Umgebung von Roving O. Thalassia. 1. Steinböck, O. 1934. Die Tierwelt der Gletschergewässer. Zeitschrift des Deutschen und Österreichischen Alpenvereins. 65, 263, 275. Steinböck, O. 1934. Zur Frage der Sprungschicht in Hochgebirgsseen. Arch. Hydrobiol. 27, 397, 415. Steinböck, O. 1936. Über Kryokonidlocker und Eicher Biologist Vidutang. Zeitschrift für Gletscherkunde. 24, 121. Steinböck, O. 1938. Über die Stellung der Gattung Nematodermus Steinböck im System der Turbelarien. Acta Soc Fauna Flora Fennica. 62, 128. Steinböck, O. 1954. Sobre la mission del plasmodio digestivo en la regeneration de Amphiscalops, Turbellaria acola. Hubble Inst Apple Biol. 17, 101, 117. References